How to estimate and design lighting for a wonderful home such as this. So first thing we need to do is make a plan. And we might discuss with the customer or discuss with ourselves on how we would make this plan. In this case, after some discussion, the customer would like lights along all of these eaves and along the front of the eave line. She would also like some garland around the entry door there, and she would like to light up this tree. Since we've already completed this before, this is what the job is going to look like when it's finished. Note we have a wreath at the top, and each of the bulbs are what we call peaked. All the lights are clean and straight. We have wrapped the tree with warm white, and we've gone around the entryway with some garland. So our first step is going to be able to make a plan that we can easily communicate what we need to do. So in a screen capture system, I'm going to draw lines where we want the lights. These are going to represent the C9 lights. And as you can see, I'm making it very clear where things are going to go. Now we've completed the design write-up in showing that lights will be on this front eave and up and down the ridges. Green is going to represent our garland going through the doorway, and we're wrapping this small little tree over here with lights. Now we're going to move on to estimating distances. So there's two primary techniques in estimating distance, which is manual and automatic. We'll start with our automatic measurements. We are in Google Earth right now, and we're going to move to 2D mode. And we're going to right-click, click Measure Distance, and then we're going to click each of the areas along this ridge line that we would like to measure. We have 48 feet, and there's always a little bit of margin of error, so we're going to write down 50 feet. Our next is we're going to estimate each one of these ridge lines. Now, please note that the measurement using Google will not be exact because it's going to measure a flat distance between the 2 points and does not take into account the rise and fall of the roof. We go back to our 2D mode, right-click, and repeat our previous step. So we can grab the point just to get it perfect. So we can see that this measurement is telling us it's about 10.5 feet. For ridge lines, I like to double the number and make that 20 feet. The actual distance between these points is 18 feet. So 20 feet would be a fine margin of error. Now we will repeat this for the next 3 ridges. For longer ridges, Google Earth becomes slightly more accurate with its number. So I generally will multiply this number by 1.3. That would bring that to 30 feet, and the actual distance is 32 feet. Then I would again measure the next slope, and it is coming in at 15 feet. So I will tentatively double that. The actual distance for this section is 25 feet, and I have now estimated 30 feet to be safe. Our combined measurements now come to 130 feet for this house. The actual distance for this home was 125 feet. Now we will go over how to manually estimate a home by looking at a photo. Our first goal is to come up with standard of measurement. This would be a garage door because we know how big garage doors are. They're generally 18 feet. This could also be a front door that is 3 feet wide. When we come up with that, we will make a standard measurement. That now represents 20 feet. Now I would use a ruler on the computer onto the screen, but in this case we have 20 feet, 40 feet, and maybe 50 feet. And if you remember, with that little nook in there, this estimate was 50 feet. Then I would need to use this measurement tool and measure each of these slopes. Entry heights for the garland are generally 10 feet tall, as a door is 7 to 8 feet tall, and there's headroom for that door, which is hiding behind there. So that would make this 10, 20, and about 4. So we would call it 25 feet measurement. We could also use our C7s to measure this entryway in the same method. Trees and bushes are much harder to estimate, as there's a knowledge base of the technique. This tree here would be 3 strings of 25 to light it up, and we could also go all the way to 4 strings if we wanted it very bright. With that, we have now estimated the distances, and we have a plan on where we are going to install these Christmas lights.